Is it recording? Yeah. Oh, okay, great.
Oh, so we could start whenever.
We can start. Technically, it's already started.
Oh, that's so scary.
I know. But it's like, I love that you did research for this.
Oh, no, I do research for every single, and like I take everything way too seriously.
But I think that's what makes you so great.
Thank you.
You're a professional, no matter what you do. If
I
you're
try
getting paid
to
or
be.
not,
No.
you are 100% professional.
No, I have to, like, I'm trying to be because, like, it's doing TikTok, like, and everything full time. I need to, like, think of myself more, like, seriously. Is this count? Like, this could be in it.
On.
Profession. Oh my gosh.
We're on.
Okay.
It's live. Hot mic.
Yeah, wait. Oh, but like I guess you could record the intro anytime because it's.
I might. Sometimes what I do is when I have a guest on, we just kind of chat, and then this comes up where now I would do the intro. But on the way over here, I was thinking, should I start doing the intros post-pod when the guest isn't here? That way I can be like in depth, and sometimes if I do the intro, then it really feels like a podcast.
I was gonna say that feels very like formal, and it's also like I think with intros people don't know when to jump in.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you're waiting like, oh, is this person going to give like an ad first, or are they going to like do like their first bit?
This is an ad-free episode. This is just us.
Oh, heck yeah.
No money behind it.
Awesome.
But I became a fan of yours the way that I'm sure most people have found you, which is through TikTok.
Nice.
And okay, so I'm kind of the opposite with my podcast. I like to do a limited amount of prep because, in my opinion, if I know too much, then the curiosity kind of leaves my brain.
I was going to say also from doing too much prep and like for something that's going to be external, you forget that a lot of people don't know certain things. So something that you might not bring up just because you assume it's known, someone listening who has no idea who I am would have no clue.
Yeah. I do feel like I should do an intro.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do an intro.
Okay.
Today's guest is Reece Feldman.
Yeah.
Okay,
for some reason, my last name just, I feel like it's never there because my account name is super long.
Very vague as well. The account name is just Guy with Movie Camera.
Guy with the Movie Camera, yeah. But it's play on, there's a 1920s silent film, Man with a Movie Camera.
Someone asked me a question on my Instagram when I said I was having you on.
I was going to ask if you got anything good.
And someone did say, is it a play on that movie?
Man with a Movie Camera, yeah, Vertov.
I've never heard of it. What's it about?
It's not about anything. It is literally just a practice in filmmaking. So it's like the first time that anyone ever did like reverse stop motion, like speeding things up, slowing things down. So it has no narrative whatsoever, but it is just like the first time anyone saw anything, I guess, which is just like taken for granted today on film. So it was like this cutting edge thing where it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's slowing down a movie.
So
like,
it's kind of like a movie that would be playing like at a museum or something when you walk into that dark
If
room.
you go into like the Museum of Cinema, this will be like the first thing they show where it's like, and then they learned how to do slow motion. And it's literally, it is like the titular film for like to study.
Wow. So, okay, you're young. You're 22.
23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
I know.
It's not. I feel like you have such a positive. This is also why I really love watching your content on TikTok, is because you have such a positive energy.
Thank you.
And at least from the outside, I don't know what your internal monologue is, but from the outside, it seems like you have a very positive outlook on things and just this attitude of positivity that like really radiates through your content.
Well, thank you very much. I'd say I'm not an extremely positive person, but because all of the videos I make are about movies and TV, which is something I love, that's where all my positivity goes.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever I do anything that's not that, I think it reads through a lot more. Because it's very funny, like my good friends are like, it's so funny when one of, someone that they meet, like they realize that like they're friends with me and they're like, oh my gosh, is he so happy? They're like, no, like I don't understand. Yeah.
But you're just really happy about film.
Sharing film and TV with people.
And when did this did you grow up in New York?
I did.
Okay.
Also, there's so much pressure like right now that I'm feeling just because I realize you have a lot of comedians on. So
no
it's
one
like,
watches this.
No. It's okay. No. I'm sure people do. And I did today. So like you already have one
No.
listener/viewer.
I had my dad on the podcast. I had a security guard from the Comedy Store on the podcast.
Comedy, but that's related to comedy. So
He's a security guard. He's this large man named JT who's not a comedian in any way.
but he's around funny people.
He is around and he says funny things, but there's zero pressure for this to be anything other than, honestly, I just wanted to meet you. And this is like a great way to do that.
Oh, that's so fun.
And so there's no pressure. This was purely just a trap to get to meet you and like make it seem more exciting.
Is that why the door is locked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an automatic lock.
Oh my gosh.
You're never leaving. I'm trapping you in here.
There's a lot of water, so that's nice.
There's a lot of water. Yeah, we'll be very hydrated
forever.
And we have a couple sponsored snacks throughout here, so it'll kind of be like a scavenger hunt.
But we won't read them aloud.
We'll have to ration
No
as well.
free advertising.
Yeah, no free advertising.
Never.
I've heard that there's some cracker. I don't know. We don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
They're not paying me, so we'll leave them alone. But
Yeah,
so you grew up in New York.
I did.
Now, were you like in New York or were you like outer New York?
The first like 12 years of my life were in Queens.
Okay.
Then I went to high school on Long Island.
Okay.
Which
So you're like, you were in New York.
I was in New York, yeah.
Because you know when some people say, oh, I'm from New York, and they're like
in
from
like
way
30
upstate.
minutes in New Jersey, or they're like next door to Syracuse, and it's like, that's not.
Yes.
That's a different state.
That's how
But
I
yes.
feel because I'm from Long Beach, California, which is technically LA County.
I don't understand the geography.
Me neither. It
Okay.
makes no sense. And also, LA County is so vast. But if I tell people from Hollywood or like, you know, Santa Monica or anywhere like actually LA, if I'm like, yeah, I'm from LA, they're like, what part? I'm like, Long Beach. They're like, you're not from LA.
No, I don't understand it because I've now been to LA several times, and anytime someone gives me an area where they live, it's the first time I've heard it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. And like, I'll be like, oh, I could walk there. And they're like, that's
No.
4 hours. I'm like, what do you mean? And like,
Yeah.
wait, like, who designed this city?
I know. It's so dense and everything is so spread apart.
Yeah, no, it's, I like what's here, but I
Yeah.
don't want to move here. And I keep feeling like I might have to at some point.
Yeah, but if it comes to the point where you have to move here, you'll be so set up in a way that it's not annoying to be
Yes,
here.
and I've been able to find certain places that I think are like livable.
Yeah.
That I
yeah,
can-
you'll find your little like nook in LA
Yeah.
where you're like, this feels like home,
I was
even
gonna
though
say,
it's
there's
not.
Echo Park. That was
Yeah.
cute. I could walk around there.
Echo Park is cute.
Yeah.
You know, Silver Lake.
Silver
I can
Lake.
see you enjoying Highland Park a little bit.
Don't know
but
what that is, but
It's just even
Is it
more
good?
east.
okay.
It's just more and more east.
I was gonna say any place where I could walk or ride a bike
yeah.
makes me happy. But yeah, no. So I am a native New Yorker, like actual New Yorker.
And then what, like your upbringing, are they both alive?
They are.
Okay, because you know when you ask someone what your parents do, and then
Yeah, and then I have to be like, well, one of them is like
and then you're just
6
like,
feet under.
yeah, I'm so bad at emotional.
No, because it's also like, how do you respond to that? Where it's
Yeah.
like, sorry, and it's like, then you have to be like, no, it's been a few years, and it's like, no, I don't have that.
Okay,
So we don't have
so
to.
what do your parents do? Are they the people who kind of inspired you to get into TV and film,
So-
or
Like, they're not related to film at all.
you're like both my parents are super famous?
I was gonna say, yeah, my dad's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
No, I can both happily and sadly say I'm not a child of nepotism. I'm happy that I got here on my own,
Mm-hmm.
but also it would be so nice if there was just absolutely zero hurdles. Like there's.
I hate when people complain about like nepotism babies, like
Yeah.
people who are getting famous and their parents are also famous.
No.
I'm like, yeah.
We have some great Laura Dern. Like
Yeah.
we have some really great people. But Angelina Jolie.
I'm like, you still have to be good to an extent.
No. And it's like, yes, there are certain people who it's like, okay, like they had like 2 performances and you could tell that like Hollywood just wasn't allowing them to stay.
Yeah.
But for like a lot, Zoe Kravitz, like
Yeah.
very talented people who it's
Yeah.
just like, so no, not a child of nepotism. My dad is a wage and hour attorney, so he like will represent just like local restaurants and stuff like that. And my mom just does secretarial work.
Oh my
so,
God, I love that. Just humble beginnings.
humble
for
and
Reece.
and I just really like movies. Or it's
Yeah.
like my grandfather, he was very into movies, and as he got older, like and less mobile, like that was how we would spend time.
Yeah.
Just in silence watching like old movies.
That's honestly the best way to spend time with someone. My mom listens to this podcast, but truly when I go over to her place, she loves watching TV and movies. So I'm like, this will be such an easy hangout because all we have to do is just watch TV and movies. It's like the best activity for someone who you're like, we've run out of things.
Exactly.
To say.
And after like, what is he going to talk to me about? He was like 80 something and I was like 8.
Yeah.
So then we'd watch some like 1930s movie and he'd be like, after 2 hours and 45 minutes, he'd be like, good, right? And I'd be like, yeah. Like, that was good.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful relationship.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
And then, from there, I just kind of wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. I wanted to, like, review. That's what I went to college for, was to be a critic.
Yeah.
And then I realized that...
no one likes critics.
Well, first off, no one likes critics, but also, like, it's not the same, where it's like there used to be, like, people would read the papers and like to find out what movies were playing.
Is a critic.
And now it's like if you're verified on Twitter and like you're in entertainment, you're a movie critic.
Yeah.
And it's
what classes do you take to be a critic?
Is your gain up, babe?
Yeah. So it was literally like it would be like all these film theory, film analysis courses. So through that, I learned what I liked and didn't like. And then I was like, all right, maybe I could make my own stuff one day because I know what I don't like.
And then would you also have to take, like, a journalism class or something?
Yeah, so it'd be, like, communication law, and it'd be all the writing courses, so... Which ended up helping with, like, my writing, which is nice. So, unintentionally, like, got down that path.
Yeah, so then, okay, so back to how I found you.
Yes.
You were working as a production assistant on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel in New York.
Indeed.
And you were filming TikToks about it. And obviously they're edited really nice. They're filmed really nice. Like, even your TikToks, I feel like, have this great narrative and are, like, you know, tiny little stories. There's a through line and there's, like, you know, there's a start, middle, and end.
Thank you. You know, that was the whole point, was that I wanted to, like, I knew no one would give me a budget.
Yeah.
Just because that's how things work, where it's like, I can't just be like, I have a good idea, give me $5 million for, you know, a movie. So I would tell my own little stories on the video app, TikTok.
Yeah.
And try to, like, have, like I said, like you said, a beginning, middle, and end, just to, like, these minute-long videos of going on a coffee run or stuff like that.
So my question is, when you first downloaded TikTok, were you making content before that?
No.
So you just started with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
So I downloaded TikTok in the fall of 2018 and didn't make an account until March 2020.
Okay.
And then, like, I would just, like, I'd scroll and, like, you know, it'd be fun send to, like, my friends and whatnot. Yeah. And then I made one video about graduating college during the pandemic, which did, like, okay. And then I was like, I got, like, a couple hundred followers from that. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, I had never...
You got that first hit?
That first hit, yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I just, like, made funny little skits and stuff. Just, like, fun little practices and editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got a job in a reality kid show for, like, the largest Mormon network in the country.
Whoa.
Which was nuts.
Wait, what's a reality kids show?
So it was a Mormon kid show called Operation Awesome. And
that sounds awesome.
No, it was really cute. What made it Mormon was that it was just very wholesome. There was nothing bad about it.
Yeah.
And it was just kids going town to town across the country, doing good. That's it. That was the entire show.
So it's kind of like that new Japanese...
Yes.
What's it called? Old Enough?
Yeah. It was just a very wholesome show. Like, they would go to a town, they'd build, like, a dog park.
Cute.
And it was like, that was my introduction to TV, and I would make videos on set there because, like...
Low stakes.
Yeah, there was, like, what were they going to do? Fire me? It was like, no, everyone was super into it. Like, everyone on the crew was like, oh, do you need me to help film? And, like,
cute.
Their friends were sending it to them. So it started to grow, and I kept doing production. And then eventually, going from show to show, I was on Real Housewives for a few months. New Jersey, Real Housewives.
Oh, so good.
That was very fun. They're very nice ladies, and... like, the question I'm always asked is, like, is it real? And it is, to an extent.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they set up, you know,
we set up, like, where they're going to be, but, like, yeah, the feuds are real. Like,
then
the cameras...
once the wine goes down the throat,
yeah,
ooh, it gets spicy.
The camera's cut, and they're still yelling, and I'm like, do I do anything?
Yeah,
And they're like,
you're
no,
like,
let them go.
cut,
And I'm like,
cut.
yeah. And then eventually,
So I'm curious, you probably don't know this about me, but I too have been a production assistant.
ooh,
Yeah, I didn't make
Scripted
a
or
full
reality?
career out of it, but things work out the way they are. It was scripted, but I'm curious, what does being a PA look like on a reality show?
it was very much a free for all where it's like there'd be producers who like didn't show up for a day, and they'd be like, "Oh, Reece, you like the idea of producing?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." They'd be like, "All right, like you're stepping up," and I'm like,
Your internship begins now.
I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "All right, put on the headset. You're gonna have to." And I was like, "Okay."
Wow,
so
that's
it's like
wild.
every single day was different. I was
Yeah.
entrusted with a lot more than I should have been, which I loved, and it gave me an idea of what production really is, and like. Then going to Maisel, which is very much like a scripted, like there's money behind it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
a
it's
lot
like
of money behind Maisel.
a lot of freaking money behind it, and everyone has their job and their task. So it's a different kind of thing, both fun. But yeah, on Maisel is when like my videos really started to take off, and when
Well, I'm curious. So when I was a PA, you kind of like, you stick with the other PAs. It's kind of like not a lonely job, but you just are like a workhorse. You have your blinders on, you like get the tasks
Yes.
done. I would never have the confidence to start filming or recording. So I'm curious, when you got that job, did they want you to film TikToks, or did you ask, or did you just kind of start doing it and you're like, once you see the finished product, you're going to love it?
So I had been like on all the reality shows, I'd always ask, and they'd be like, yeah, just, like use discretion. And like, I always did. And then for Maisel, I knew it was like, that was my chance to do something a little cool. So like 2 weeks into working there, I hadn't made any videos about being on Maisel yet.
Yeah.
I made a video behind the
Did
scenes.
you feel like you needed to like get to know everyone?
I had to not
be the weirdo who's just like filming
No, exactly.
people.
So I did like one video of like wrapping like holiday gifts in one day, and it was very much like an isolated thing, and no one who worked there had known of my account. So I was like, "Oh, do you mind if I post this little video?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure," like thinking I was just gonna like it'd be like my mom would share it on Facebook. But then like that was at the time like my most successful video, and it was just at holiday break, and I learned after the fact that a bunch of like Amazon execs got together who saw it, and like they were like, what do we do, like this is like we didn't like approve this, who did he ask? And like there's a conversation whether or not to fire me. But then I think it was like an executive's daughter like showed her dad and was like, oh my god, this is so cool, I can't believe you guys did this is awesome. And then they were like, all right, let's hire him. And yeah, so that
so did you get a promotion on Maisel from No.
So I was still a PA, and
they were just like, keep making TikToks, we're not going to pay you.
No. I had like a 5 video deal with them at first.
Wow.
So like they
just based on this one video.
Yes. So I had like meetings with them, and like.
And was that the first time that you got any sort of like deal or sponsorship? That was the first deal I
had ever gotten, and it was also the smallest deal to date.
Of course.
But like,
because you had no one like negotiating for you. You're just like happy to be there.
I was so happy, and I was just glad they didn't fire me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And then they're like, I would be doing, the 12, 14-hour days, and then in my free time, like editing the videos when I got home, and like. Posting.
So once they saw that one video and then were like, we want 5 more, at that point, did they start asking to review the content before you posted it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it didn't change it too much.
Yeah.
But like, it also like, I try to make videos with the idea that like, it won't offend anyone.
Yeah.
But like, they would take out every now and then, like I threatened Lin-Manuel Miranda in a video, and they're like, you can't threaten Lin-Manuel. I was like, come on, let me.
You're like, trust me, everyone wants to.
I was threaten. Like, yeah, and it was like, so it'd be like those kind of things where they'd be like, all right, Reece, like you can't like.
Isn't it so crazy how not sensitive, but I guess sensitive, like how sensitive everyone, like especially at a corporate level, like how they have to just have their eyes on everything and every word and every detail, because it's true. It's like, if you posted the original with you threatening Lin-Manuel Miranda, it probably would have blown up and people would have loved it.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, but we have to cover,
I was going to say, because they're associated with it, and
totally.
Like, they were okay with me joking about Bezos, which was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
But not Lynn.
But not Lynn. Lynn, I don't know. I'll threaten him one day.
I would love to hear. Do you remember what the threat was? I'm just curious.
It was something because I was at like a costume thing for
Sure.
Maisel, and there was like a Hamilton thing there. And I was
that's
like,
so funny.
oh, like love King George, but not you, Lin Manuel. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And like it was just a very open threat. Take it as you will, but they didn't like it.
Yeah.
So.
That's so wild. So now, for those of you who don't know my friend, my bestie, Reece, he has now been flown out to so many events for like premieres of movies and TV shows because he's the TikTok king of film and television.
Thank you.
So now you've built essentially like this career on your content from TikTok. I mean, you went to the motherfucking Oscars.
Yeah, that was really cool.
You've done like so much in what seems like, I mean, it is a short amount of time.
Yeah, no,
like,
I've only
in
been
2
doing
years.
this. I've only been doing like TikTok content, like film stuff on my own for a little less than 6 months.
Wow.
So it's been, it's been odd because this was never the goal.
Yeah.
This was not like the plan.
You want to, like, I know that you've written things that you want to create.
Yeah.
I imagine you still want to, like, produce.
Yes.
So is it hard now? Is there, like, a fear of, like, okay, how do I still make TikTok and do this thing that's giving me money and, notoriety and whatever? Like, do you have kind of a game plan of, like, do you think that you're going to be able to continue doing the TikToks that you love and doing that? Or do you feel like there has to be some sort of transition?
No, and it's like, it's funny that you asked this because I always think about that where it's like, I'd love to make my own feature one day and like my own TV show and like, not about me, but like things that I've written, stories and ideas that I have. But TikTok has allowed me to get into like rooms where I could have conversations about making my own stuff. And I love like my favorite stuff, my favorite kind of videos to make are the behind the scenes where it's like, there's a movie coming out called Not Okay. And like, I run their TikTok account. Like I was on set, like, having like the cast do like these videos, which was so much fun where it's like, I did not think like after leaving college that I'd be like telling Dylan O'Brien, like, hey, I'm going to need you to yell at me for this one. And he'd be like, let's do it. Like,
and are some people, can you tell like some people when you are working on a set, like some of the actors or the people working there are cooler about it than others?
Well, that's part of my job is like making sure that I understand how people feel about it. Where it's like, if someone's against social media, I'll work to their needs. Where it's like, I won't be in their face. And like, literally they don't.
Because I imagine like the older people still don't get it and are kind of just like, I imagine there's 2 ways it goes with like an older actor because they're probably like, you're ruining my career. Like I've worked hard. Not you.
No, but
like TikTok and just the internet.
But like I made a video for Maisel with Tony Shalhoub, who's
which
like,
I loved.
Thank you. But yeah, no, like he doesn't understand TikTok and it's like, he was just like, I was like,
imagine if he like really understood
if he was just
TikTok
like doing like the renegade and he just has a burner account.
I would love a Tony Shalhoub Finsta TikTok.
He has his own fandom, like
where
his
he
fan
just like
account,
is on
like,
the weirdest niche of it.
Just frog talk.
I would love that.
But like, with
it's him and all those egg peeling videos.
Exactly. He's doing them on a live stream always. But like he did not understand TikTok and I was like, oh, you don't have to do anything. I'm just going to record from afar. And if there's anything I need, I'll ask you. And he's like, perfect. Yeah. And like people, and like, once again, like my job, like I'll do my research to make sure like I watch their interviews, like look at their socials, see if they have socials, if their kids have socials, if they're familiar with anything like that. So like
you do your research.
I do my research because it's like there's nothing I don't want anyone uncomfortable and I don't want anyone to not have fun with it.
Yeah.
So
and you don't want to be that guy that just shows up and is like, we're doing a TikTok.
No, and it's like that's not and like my favorite thing is when people find out after the fact where it's like I'm not okay. They were like, I thought you were a PA. Like someone sent me this video. Is this you? And I'm like, yes. They're like, that's what you do here? And I'm like, yes.
You're like, I'm a PA, but just a little bit spicier.
Yeah, just like a little spicy. Like I'm like the seltzer. Like everyone like still water. But yes, so going back to like the film stuff, like I would love to make behind the scenes stuff about my own movies. And like there's like a lot of celebrities that like have their career. Like Lizzo, she does it so perfectly where it's like she's touring and doing everything, but like she'll do fun stuff on her TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's like I started on TikTok and I don't want to like throw it away just because it's like, oh, I've moved on to movies and it's
Yeah.
like I don't need this anymore. It's like, no, it's a really fun app and it's a great way to engage with people. And like the people who follow me and like support me and everything like that
Are gonna want to
are
support.
the ones who like I want to share my movies with. And it's
Yeah.
like, why would I stop making TikToks just because, you know, I'm doing like what I've wanted to do?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's especially. I feel like too, you're at the perfect age of like knowing how to use social media to benefit you and like in a way that mingles with your life. Where, not that I'm like some old broad. I'm only
No.
a few years older than you.
I was gonna say,
but
are you 26?
I'm 26.
Okay.
But I
I know that because in doing research. Because you said when you graduated high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I did the math, so.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
But we both grew up on our phones constantly, but TikTok still felt like this thing that I was just like this disconnected with, in a point where I'm like, now if I start making them, it's going to feel so disingenuous.
It's such an odd app where it really is like that, where
you have to be passionate about.
I even feel like
even
that
your
sometimes,
TikToks.
where it's like, there's certain trends I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, there's still certain hurdles I can't leap over.
Yeah. And I feel like with TikTok, you really have to know who you are and what you want to do and what you want to like make of it.
Yes.
And it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
No, but I like the TikToks you make where it's like these kind of things, where you're like, I feel like podcasts do that really well on TikTok, is like heightening the podcast by sharing like that spicy clip that's recorded, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll check this out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think TikTok's a great vehicle for other things.
It can
doesn't
be.
have
I
to
mean,
be its own thing.
It is interesting to see there's some comics who have really blown up from TikTok from
Yes.
posting their stand-up clips. And it's so interesting to see which ones really like blow up, because there's some comics who I've never heard of, never seen, and then their TikTok goes completely viral and now they're selling out.
Now they're
so
selling it
many
because it's like people are like,
places.
oh, I want to see the person that did like this bit, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing with actors too.
But then the fucked up part is there's this one person who posts videos of them and it's like a green screen behind them and it
Yeah.
looks like they're performing at a comedy club and they add in laughs. They kind of pepper in some heavy laughs.
Are they honest about it? Like, is it?
I
Are they
have
trying
not
to?
seen them say.
Are they trying to
that
play it off as?
They're trying to make it look like they filmed a set out at a comedy club, which whatever, their videos are doing really well, so that's
Are they
great for
funny?
them. They've kind of figured something out. The problem is that in person, I don't know them personally, but my friends have told me, and I don't think that in person they're that funny. But something with a laugh track really does like
No, there's
make you think
I was gonna
that
say watch a sitcom without the
without-
laugh track, and it's
dark.
it's almost
grim.
like Friends. I like that show. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine, but it's like watching it without the laugh track it's really tough.
Yeah, it's psycho.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's very interesting how it can bring out the best in people and kind of the worst.
Yes.
But like
and people are quick to jump on.
either side.
Have you ever gotten hate on?
Oh, that's all this podcast
really?
is about,
Is it-
baby.
okay, I see you're laughing. Like, is it?
Oh, I get plenty of hate.
But it's also I've tend to find that women get a lot more hate online, just
Yeah.
in general. For
the
like,
interesting thing is, if I say that, people will be like, the woman
of
guard
course
women.
she says that. Yeah, no, but it's like I notice that too with like.
Well, because guys get upset when it's a very like heterosexual hatred towards women, because the hate will either stem from a place of wanting to fuck a woman so badly and
It's like
getting
the
angry
negging
about
where
it,
it's like,
or
yeah.
not being able to fuck this person.
No.
It stems from like a very like primal
I was gonna say it's a
place.
guttural kind of hate, which is like, and it's
Yeah.
not even hate sometimes.
Yeah.
But just like a way of getting attention.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have to try and learn how to deal with it better, but
Does it
was-
bother you? Or
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
it brings me to the lowest place mentally. But I'm
Gotcha.
getting better at it, and I'm like, that was something else that was interesting. Is like with TikTok or just any online platform and just the world we live in today, everything is either extremely good or extremely bad.
There's very rarely an in-between.
Yeah, it's like if you go on someone's Instagram, the comments are either like fire emoji, I love you, you're incredible, everything you do is perfect, or it's like you should burn in hell, you witch woman.
Yeah, no, it's...
Someone just commented on my Instagram today saying, you know, it was like a video I posted doing a speech at my sister's wedding, and it was like a 4 or 6 minute speech that I did in total, but I cut it down obviously to a minute with just like the highlights.
Yeah.
And someone was like, it was funny, someone said that there was a laugh track in there, and I was like, no, I honestly was just killing at this wedding. Like, table 4 was loving it. But someone just commented saying... I don't want to like give them any hype, but they were like, for the amount of people saying this was incredible, like it makes me want to quit my job and start doing comedy because, you know, if this is as easy, whatever, whatever it was.
I was going to say, people who are mean online, there's like, it's so creative. Like I don't really get much hate.
Yeah, you're a very likable guy.
Thank you. But, like, I also try not to invite it. Like, not saying anyone's inviting it, but, like, I will not make anything that I'm like, oh, this someone will, like, be able to jump at.
Sure.
Every now and then I'll get something, and I'll respond to it. And, then, like, one guy made a video where he was, like, about me, where he's like, I don't know, like, who this kid is. Like, he's definitely a plant. Like, why don't we have any information on his parents? And, like, listed off a litany
because your parents are super famous.
Yeah, exactly. He listed off, like, a litany of things that he, like, didn't understand and wanted answers. And, like, I, like replied on his video, like, answering every single thing. And then, like, 20 minutes later, he posted another video. He's like, hey, guys, like, yeah, I think he's just a really decent dude. He answered all my questions. Like, Reece, if you're watching this, like... love to take you out for a beer sometime. And I was like, oh, okay, that was easy. But...
It's also funny because that comment literally, like, he answered his own comment by being like, you know, this guy, like, I don't know who this guy is. He must be a plant. I don't know who his parents are. And it's like, yeah, because why would you know any of this information?
No, I was like,
I just am another person.
I could have, like, you should have just asked. I would have, like, happily told you. But no, people are very creative with their...
I know the guy in the comment who said he wants to quit his job and start comedy because it's so easy. No, I have to stop replying because they shouldn't get more attention than people who support me.
That's fair. No. That's...
But it is, I do want to, because I'm like, I want to tell this guy, quit your job. Do something that you want to do. If you want to do comedy, because it looks easy,
you know what? You might be surprised. Maybe he'll be like, I just reread my comment. Like, I didn't realize, like, I didn't mean it to be as mean as it was.
I'm noticing people, I used to respond to comments, and then a lot of times I would get something like that back. Nowadays, I'm feeling like people don't tend to back down as easily as they used to.
Because then it's like people, when they realize they've been mean, they try to justify it.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to, go back and like, but I do like when someone will admit they're wrong, or they're like, oh, maybe I jumped the gun on that one.
I like to give them the benefit of the doubt that they'll come to that conclusion on their own.
Yeah. Or maybe even they're having a bad day. Which is okay. And it's like...
And I feel like now I'm like, who isn't having a bad day?
No, every day is bad.
Every day is rough. And we're just, we're doing our best.
Exactly.
So I have to just give people... Oh my God, Benjamin is just loving these little ear loops.
Yeah.
Oh, he's loving it.
I like dogs.
So you were out here to promote the Northman?
The Northman, yes.
Okay. I know nothing about this movie, and honestly, I don't want to. I know that I know that they're giving you the big bucks. I'm not that interested to find out what it is.
Oh, really?
It's
Are you
so like
interested
this is.
in it?
I've seen it on every.
I've only known about it because of your TikToks.
So
they're
like
doing good promo.
That's the thing where it's like I genuinely like watching it. Like they're not paying me to say this because like they pay me to like make a video, but it's like I don't have to say it's good.
Yeah,
and
you
like
could just be like crazy movie,
or I
lots
could
of
be
action.
like I like to think every movie has something good. Mm-hmm. Like even movies I don't like, I'm like, do you know what? But someone who likes X will definitely find something endearing. Or it's like, do you know what? If you just want to have something on in the background, it has some great like soundtrack, and it's like there's always something redeemable. But this is legitimately like one of my top movies of the year so far.
Wow.
So it's like one of those nice things where it's like I want to make videos about it because like my friends who are not that into movies, they're like, why haven't I heard anything about this?
I know.
And it's like because you don't have cable, so you're not watching 30-second ads
Yeah.
on commercials. You're not reading a newspaper where they're talking about it because we get all of our news on our phone.
Yeah.
You're not following like
And also-
cinema stuff, and it's
This was an exciting promo for you to do because this is your second time doing a TikTok video with Anya Taylor-Joy.
It is, yeah, and it's like once again, like if I, and this is like where I get happy, where it's like if making a silly video with like a very talented actress,
Yeah.
helps people find a movie that they don't know about but will love once they see, that makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Where it's like I did work for the movie Fresh, the Sebastian Stan, Daisy Edgar Jones one,
Yeah.
which was, did you see it?
I loved it.
It is so fucking
It's
good.
so you didn't like it, right?
What movie?
Fresh, Sebastian
the one about
Stan.
the cannibal.
Oh no, I didn't love it.
Really? Oh, see, like that's like my kind of movie. It's dark, it's gory, it's horror, it's fun, and
It was
it's
a
like
fun spin on cannibalism.
Exactly. It's like
If you
I
could
do,
ever
No,
imagine.
I do love a nice, fun cannibal story. Yellow Jackets.
Did you see that Human Centipede?
I don't like. I don't give that
Can you-
movie time. I don't comment on it. I've been asked about it a bunch. I won't discuss it.
Why?
I don't talk about it. I think
Oh my God.
it's an embarrassment of cinema. It is a cash
No,
grab.
but it's so fun.
I understand the idea.
Okay, but you can find any redeeming quality. You just said you
I
can
know.
find any. What is your one redeeming quality about the Human Centipede? I know
It's
mine.
fun. I think it's fun to talk about. Where it's like it's just like this movie that doesn't have a point, but it's an exclamation point where
Yeah.
it's like everyone could come together to be like, it's disgusting, you need to see it. It's like, why would I? But once again, it creates a fun discourse.
Yeah.
So it has that redeemable.
It's almost like Two Girls, One Cup, but for the cinema world.
Yeah, for the cinema, it honestly is. Where it's
Yeah.
like it very much is
leads
that.
to a discussion.
But
you
yeah,
know?
but like with Fresh, like a bunch of my friends saw the movie, and like people that like I don't know but like follow me were like, I hadn't heard of this, but like this is legitimately, I keep telling everyone about this movie. I'm like, that means I did like something
Yeah.
good, where it's like a really fun movie people discovered because of Sebastian Stan doing a Euphoria TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is like,
And also, I think that you're a trusted TikTok source for movies and TV shows because there's so much BS on my TikTok For You page telling me this movie's the best. You have to see this TV show. You have to see this. It changed my life. You're gonna shit
Yeah.
your pants. You're gonna eat it up. That's Two Girls, One Cup reference. But there's
good callback.
there's so much just like. Same thing about extreme positives, extreme negatives, even in the TikTok videos where people are like, because I'll tell him, we have
Yes.
to watch this movie. I saw TikTok, someone said it was incredible, and then we watch it, and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life.
and
I
like,
have to remember that not everyone on TikTok knows what movies I like. Why am I trusting a 12-year-old girl?
yeah, no, and it's like, once again, like, it's always nice where it's like, I'll see like an underrated movies list, and it's like, that won Best Picture in 2007, and I'm
It's like the Titanic. If you've
Yeah.
never seen this
but
movie.
it's like, but then again, like, and like, I try to keep positive because I hate film being this like negative space where it's like gate kept, and it's like, you haven't seen this, and it's like, let people find it on their own time. So it's like,
Yeah.
that makes me happy when someone finds something that is, yes, very mainstream, but yeah, no, TikTok is tough because people are just inundating you with so much information about so much pop culture, like so many TV shows and movies. So it can be tough to weed out what's worth watching.
What
But-
are your favorite? What 3 TV shows and 3 movies? And if that's too much, you can shorten it to
Gotcha.
2 or 1. But what 3 TV shows, 3 movies would you suggest people at home to watch
So
right now?
new shows, Yellow Jackets on Showtime.
We just finished that.
It's phenomenal. It is like, I
It
don't,
took me a while to get into it.
Real- okay.
Yeah, it took me. I wasn't too sold the first few episodes.
I rarely throw around the word perfect, but it's the perfect example of like storytelling. There's not an ounce of fat in that show where it's like every single scene needs to be there.
Mm.
And it's just, it's so much fun.
I also like Jackie's character arc in that show of being like
Yes.
one of the. You're like, oh, we're gonna love her, and then by the end, you're like, fuck you, Jackie.
Oh, I think it's the opposite, where it's like you go into it thinking like, oh, she's the queen bee, like she's a mean popular girl, but by the end you're like, she's just a teenage girl, like she's making
Yeah.
mistakes, like she's like,
I'm the opposite.
oh no, I was like,
I'm so
and it's
cool.
very funny where it's like, not to spoil anything, you get to like everything that she does, I'm like, she's supposed to be 16, 17, like
Yeah.
she's just like a kid thrown into this insane situation.
Yeah.
And you have these like people who are like going primal, and it's like she's the only normal one, and it's which is like once again if like I'll stop because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like do you know, okay, that's all I'll say. But so Yellow Jacket's really
Wait,
good.
say it.
Can I put it
what
away?
I'm gonna say.
Okay, this will be cut out.
No, it won't be cut out, but we can whisper.
Okay, skip like 10 seconds ahead. That like if she were to have lived, like she probably would have been normal. She would have been so nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like she's a teenage girl, so it's like. But yeah, so that Severance on Apple TV.
People keep talking
It
about
is-
that, and I don't think I downloaded Apple TV. I think I did the
Apple
free
TV
trial.
has Apple
No,
TV.
I have it.
Oh, okay, I'll get around
Apple
to it.
TV
People
is
keep
really
talking about how great it is.
stepping up their content, both movie and TV wise.
Yeah.
It's
Movie.
I mean, Coda just won Best Picture.
yeah, we watched
I didn't
Coda.
Coda I didn't love.
I didn't love
It was
I
fine.
didn't love it. I was just talking. There's this comedian named Moshe Kasher. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He has 2 deaf parents.
Oh, so
and
he's literally Coda, child of
He's
deaf adults.
truly
yeah.
Coda, and my grandma was deaf, and I asked him, I was like, don't you feel like Coda was a little bit like jerk-offy, like for people who don't know deaf people who are like, look at how beautiful it is.
And then like a much better movie dealing with like the deaf community is Sound of Metal from a year prior, and it's like
Yeah.
that if that was this year, I feel like that should have won over it. But
Yeah.
once again, it's like
It's a sweet, heartwarming, like,
yes, and
you
it's
know,
like
movie, but
it's like Crash, where it's like
nothing, it doesn't feel groundbreaking. It
Not at
doesn't
all.
feel like, whoa, my brain is working differently now.
no, and like I think if it hadn't won Best Picture, I would have liked it a lot more.
Yeah.
because it's a cute movie, and I was like, this is something I'd recommend to like a family to watch, where it's like this is a nice introductory text.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah, so Severance and then Arcane I think's very good. And
Never
that's
heard
on
of it.
Netflix. It's about League of Legends. I've never
Okay.
played League of Legends, but it's just this beautifully animated show with a really good story, and it just takes this universe of League of Legends, which is like a super popular game, which
Yeah.
I know nothing about, and makes a show about it. So it's like you don't have to go in with anything, but it's this really awesome show. Jackie from Yellow Jackets voices one of the main characters.
Wow.
It has a great voice cast.
Jackie's booked and busy.
She's booked and busy. I think she won an award for her performance in Arcane, like an animated show.
Wow.
But yeah, and then movie-wise, recently The Northman, like legitimately, like it's insane. It
I'll
is the
have to
most
see it.
feral movie I've seen to date, probably. It's just nuts. And then because I'm giving new stuff, to give some oldies, if you've never seen When Harry Met Sally, that's the best rom-com ever. It's really good. You should watch it. And then The Thing is
My favorite movie.
it's my favorite movie of all time. It's
Have I seen The Thing?
No,
What's
you
The
won't watch it
Thing?
with me.
why?
John Carpenter movie.
Why won't
Why
you
won't I watch it?
She says it looks too old.
No, it's
There's some
Oh,
movies that
it's-
just have a feel where I'm like, this is
no,
too
no.
old.
But like that's what's so great. It's like I like the feel of things shot on film, not
Yeah.
digital, because digital it looks too nice, it looks too clean.
Sorry, I need to look up the poster for this.
Oh, and the poster, funny story, they did not give the poster designer anything to work with. They were just like
Wait, I feel like Oh, no, never
they were
mind.
just like horror film in the Arctic, and they were like, okay, so they made it like this weird Eskimo poster, which ended up working perfectly and it's iconic, but
But even the trailer doesn't.
the trailer doesn't do anything. No, and it's like there's no Eskimos in the movie. Like no one's that but it's the thing is like perfect sci-fi movie. I'll use the word perfect again because it is my favorite.
And the special effects are so cool.
And it's like practical effects. People need to go back to practical.
It looks like a snooze fest, but I'll give it a watch if you say
A
so.
helicopter. That's all we saw, and you said no.
It starts off with a helicopter shooting at a dog.
Yeah,
if that
clearly
doesn't
I'm,
keep you,
I'm just out at the
that doesn't-
helicopter and the
it's
dog.
so good. But I do understand it. It might not be for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so
Yes.
many people were so interested in your hair.
Really?
Yeah. The
Oh, yeah, I was
bulk
gonna-
of
yeah,
the
wait, so
questions were just what's
Hair care?
What's your hair routine? Is it natural?
It is.
What if you just revealed it was a wig?
I just take off and oh my god, hat
Okay.
hairs.
Oh wait, but speaking of hair, sorry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sidetracking. You were at the Oscars.
Yeah.
The classic, the big event at the Oscars was Jada Pinkett Smith's
Oh,
hair in the
yeah.
comment.
I just think
Were you in the room?
I
when
was
that
in the
went
room.
down?
yeah.
So it just was everyone just like
Yeah, no, it's just like it was just a shitty situation all
Yeah.
around. Like it was a bad joke, it was a bad reaction.
Yeah.
It was just a bad moment. And then like I've the worst I feel is like yes, the room was silent for the next 10 minutes, but like there were so many good wins that night. Like Jane Campion, second it's her second Oscar nom. She's the first female director to win Best Director in over a decade. Like
Wow.
all these huge like Ariana DeBose, like first Afro-Latina like woman who's queer to win like an act, and it's like so many big things happen that night, and it's just really upsetting that like
That
the
was
slap
the-
is what's being talked about when it's like you have Troy Kotsur, first deaf male actor winning. You have
I
like
thought I saw him on Hollywood Boulevard today. I was going to Zara to make a return, and I thought I saw him, and I just kind of like stared for a second to
Yeah.
see if the person he was with, if they were going to start signing.
Oh.
And then I would have, in my broken sign language, been like, "Hi, I love you."
yeah.
But I didn't. I really had to just fucking
Yeah,
love
no.
just the most aggressive. I love you.
Exactly.
But I parked illegally, so I really had to make
No,
it
you have
quick,
to
and I
move, yeah.
didn't wait around. But I love the idea that he's just hanging out on Hollywood Boulevard,
Love that.
walking
Yeah.
the Walk of Fame. Maybe it was him. Who knows? We'll never know.
Does he have a star? I know Marley Matlin does.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
He'll get one. He's an Oscar winner now.
Yeah. Okay, was there anything else? Oh, your hair.
Yeah, hair routine.
We must discuss.
It's really like disappointing. I made a video once where I was asking for advice because I didn't know anything about curly hair. So Curly Talk came to the rescue and gave me.
They're all about plopping. Are you
Yeah.
plopping?
Yeah, where it's like you can't dry it with a towel. You have to like scrunch it dry, and it's you condition like once every 3 days and shampoo like. You can't shampoo every night. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, but
You gotta let those natural oils.
I had no idea about natural oils or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very odd that like that's become a thing that like I do get asked that a lot. And like my agent will be like, you can't cut the hair just yet. I'm like, okay.
It's your trademark. Yeah, how soon after your TikToks kind of blew up did you get representation?
Not until I went like full time when I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess like this might. It was like either I returned to Maisel for another season, which would have been like 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
Doing like 12-hour days again, or like doing it full time, which has been so far like a good choice. But yeah, so like about a week and a half after going like solo, I like met with a bunch of different agencies and finally found one I liked.
Did they reach out to you initially?
No. So like it was through like a
Interesting.
friend. They were like, "Oh, I see you're doing this. Like, did you ever think about representation?" Like we do mostly like actors, directors, writers, but like because you deal in film, I think it could be a good match. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Put me in contact." But like, yeah, no, it's A3, so it's like
Yeah.
it worked well.
It's legitimate.
Yeah. Anything
okay.
else good?
One person said, Mary Beth _sloat said, weirdest. You seem like too nice of a person to maybe answer this,
Okay.
but maybe you can answer it in like a
nice
Reece
way.
way.
Yeah.
But someone said, weirdest person you've met.
Weirdest person I've met.
You just are like, my neighbor, Danny's kind of weird. I
Yeah.
don't know what his deal is.
The guy just gives me bad vibes.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, so like weirdest celebrity I've met. That's tough.
And it doesn't have to be like weird in a bad way, just someone
No,
who's
no, no.
like really
Like it could be
out there.
eccentric. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Palladinos are really interesting. Like the creators of Maisel.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I
like-
saw when she won an award. I didn't really know her that well.
Yeah, they're
but
like-
she's like a legend. Amy Palladino,
Yeah, Amy Sherman
right?
Palladino. Yeah, they're very interesting people.
She's like she's like a steampunk, right?
She wears top hats.
Yeah.
Like they're very interesting people, and like weird in a good way, where it's like they're super successful. So I guess we don't use weird, we use like eccentric,
Yeah.
because when you hit a certain level of wealth, it's no longer weird. It is just
Profitable.
yeah, exactly. But I'd say them. They're just a very interesting duo. They lead very interesting lives. Yeah, and like I guess I won't go further just due to like the fact that I'm under
Yeah.
probably like 98 NDAs at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're weird in a good way.
Yeah.
They're just very
It's also interesting because Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is such a specific aesthetic. It's a time period. What's it called?
Period piece.
A period piece. And then when they won the award for it, I was like, these are the people who...
Yeah, and it's like she's Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
like,
it's incredible
and people
how
are
different...
obsessed with that show.
I just found out my 80-something-year-old grandma loves the Gilmore Girls. I'm like, what the... My grandma's like the most Jewish... Like, I wanted my grandma to love Maisel. Like, when it came out, I was like,
Did she
Grandma,
not like Maisel?
At first, she said she didn't, but now she said she does. So I don't know what happened in between me first asking
and it's, like,
her.
very accurate. Like, they
Totally. I thought she was gonna, like, something was gonna...
painstakingly accurate.
I thought it was gonna be like the old man in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the grandpa, like she'd watch it and suddenly
Joe,
she was like
yeah, she's
shoo-opping.
walking, and it's, like, fucking Grandpa Joe.
But she loves the Gilmore Girls, like the most goy TV show,
Yeah.
but she eats it up.
Yeah, everyone just likes
Grandma.
the idea of just, like, this, like, nice little town.
Well, I think there's a
Lorelei.
hot guy in there that she
Oh,
really
Milo
likes.
Ventimiglia or whatever.
Was he in Gilmore Girls?
That's where he got his start.
Whoa.
And I did not... Okay, do you know what I will share?
Yeah.
The nicest compliment I've ever received was from Amy Sherman Palladino. I wear short shorts because I like having, like, air on my legs.
Yeah.
And I was wearing, like, an all-black outfit with black short shorts, and, like, the sleeves were cut off. It was a hot day out.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of Milo Ventimiglia. I can't pronounce his last name.
I know, it's a lot of letters.
It's a lot of
and
letters.
vowels
There's consonants.
and consonants.
Yeah, where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But there's a really famous picture of him wearing short shorts that, like, did huge numbers. And it was like when he got it. And she was like, you kind of look like Milo today. And
Wow.
I like, had to take a second. I was like, you can't tell me that. Like, I'm going to get confident real
Yeah.
quick. Like, that's not good for my self-esteem.
Okay, let's wrap it up, Reese.
Okay.
This has been such a blast having you on. I'm so
Thank
glad
you
I
so
got
much
to
for
meet
having me.
you,
Yeah,
and
I hope I was okay.
you were
like,
great.
Okay.
You were great. I had so much to ask you about. We had so much to talk about.
this
I
was
loved
good.
having you on. I know that's how I end every episode. I'm like, literally, how did I do? But this, I truly.
No,
feel very
I'm trying to get
confident
better about
this.
that, about not viewing everything as like a grade or performance.
Totally.
Where it's like my entire life right now is that, where it's like I have to deal with numbers and
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
so it's
this,
like,
there's no pressure. You're not going to get
but if anyone benefited, it's Benny, because
Benny
I gave the
loved
best
having
ear
you
scratches
on.
for an hour.
I'm so excited to see what you continue to make
Thank you.
on and off TikTok, and I have a lot of faith in you.
Thank you. That
I
makes
do.
one of us. So.
No, you have faith in yourself. It shows in your work.
Well, thank you, but yeah, no, I have to keep the illusion of zero confidence. I have to.
the Taylor Swift method.
No, I have to keep the bar astronomically low. So if I do anything good, it's like, damn, can't believe I got here.
You
like,
broke through the odds.
yeah, broke through the odds. It's like I was hired to do this.
For anyone who wants to check out Reese's content, he's at Guy with a Camera.
Guy with a movie camera, yeah.
Guy
and
with
it's,
a movie
I'll
camera.
end on one last thing. My favorite thing ever is when like someone will recognize me. They'll know me and they'll be very excited to know my name, Reese, but they'll mess up the username like so slightly. But they'll be like, "Oh my god, it's like you're Film Guy with a Dude, bro," and I'm like, "Yeah, like, that's
Close
me."
enough.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh my god, you're like the guy with a movie guy," and I'm like,
Sure.
"You know it is." Like,
It is. It's a lot of.
it is a lot, and it's. I also, once again, I did not go into TikTok thinking it would be a thing, so I chose it as like a joke off of that old. German or Russian silent film,
Yeah.
not thinking I would have to stick with it for years.
But it is a good username,
It's fun.
even if we forget it from time to time.
Exactly.
We know enough to put the pieces together
Exactly.
and find you.
Yeah,
So
it's usually just like the film guy,
yeah.
which is enough. That's a nice
Guy with a movie camera.
Yeah.
Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Instagram. Incredible content.
Thank you.
Happy to have you on.
Happy to be here. This was very fun.
It was. It was fun. Okay, bye.
Do you end with like a parting? Did you end with a parting song?
There is a song that we'll play.
Because I liked the intro one.
It's by the same band.